This is the sim racing cockpit of your dreams. A sleek, modern, sculpture-like design, a seat molded out of authentic carbon fiber, a pop of vibrant color, and a fully aluminum frame designed in Italy. This is the Restec X1 Formula Sim Racing cockpit, and despite all of that, it's probably not for you. Sent to me by Restec for review, the X1 has adorned my living room for quite some time now, catching the attention of anybody who enters my house and having a presence similar to a beautiful sculpture. You see, what I've learned throughout my ownership, however, is that this is its biggest selling point, as in literally every other regard, it makes some steep compromises, starting with the price. Now, as you could imagine, a beautiful European cockpit with a full carbon seat won't be cheap, and after accounting for the optional accessories that I have fitted here on mine, this will be setting you back an eye-watering $4,140, making it the most expensive sim racing cockpit that I've ever reviewed. Immediately, and as expected, the unboxing and packaging presentation is solid. Arriving in only a few boxes, everything is securely wrapped and protected, and with just 2 included tools, I was able to assemble the rig quickly, well, except for some of the accessories that quite literally have no assembly guide available yet, in which case that did take me a while to figure out. Now, as for the accessories, I do have quite a bit here, which do ultimately transform the rig from its standard $2,615 version with no options. Some of those accessories include an adjustable pedal slider, an integrated monitor stand, the lateral wheelbase mount, which looks a lot cooler than the stock pole running through your legs, and even a small table on the side. Now, being completely honest though, some of the pricing on these accessories is nothing short of questionable. For example, this little table made of 5 thin metallic parts, which I can literally lift with 2 fingers, well, that costs $237, and the lateral mount, being just 3 main metallic parts, costs $300, the same as the entire MOZA R3 bundle, to put it in perspective. Rich millionaire! Now, pricing aside, the quality of the rig, well, it too has some compromises. On the positive side, the general chassis is made from aluminum, is neatly painted in black, and it has smooth finishes. The carbon seat is also a joy to look at as it glistens under light, weighs about the same as a feather, and undoubtedly looks menacing. However, there are also some major shortcuts. These beautiful, in my case, red panels that give the shape to this rig, well, despite how good it looks online, those are actually just 2 thin and flimsy plastic parts on each side, not anything made of metal, fiberglass, aluminum, or carbon as you'd reasonably expect at this price point. The padding on the seat is also extremely thin, not very comfortable, and came with some very notable creases from factory, this taking away from the aesthetics of the seat. Unfortunately, worst of all about the seat, well, that would be its thin, unbeveled edges that make it dangerous to get in and out of it, as in one case I even got a small cut on my palm from it. Now, talking about the seat, it unfortunately has less pros than cons. Although it has a seat slider that works well, it's also placed on the back, making it uncomfortable to adjust when sitting down. The amount of adjustability on the seat is also extremely limited, it's tight and difficult to get in and out of, and apart from everything else that I already mentioned, it also has a very substantial amount of flex under even normal use. As well, it's just a thin carbon mold. Now, I am happy to report that when it comes to flex, however, that is about it. Both the wheel and the pedal deck are very rigid, with nothing that I consider noticeable flex when pushing it hard out on track. Now, something that I did find very notable though were the vibrations of my wheelbase, which did disperse throughout the entire rig and even onto my floor, as you can see very clearly here when I went over the curb. Now, as per the rest of my on-track experience, well, it was generally enjoyable. The steep formula style seating position is certainly immersive, and I imagine that with a VR headset, the experience here would be even more unique. Although some adjustments here are hard and time-consuming to make, I did also appreciate the Sparko pedal slider, this being identical to the one used on the seat. The only major oversight that I found was that there is no way to adjust the tilt of the monitor, this meaning that I had the monitor pointing directly straight, whereas I was sitting at an angle looking up to it. Of course, and needless to say, compared to cheaper aluminum profile cockpits, you're not getting the same level of adjustability or customizability, this instead being sacrificed for aesthetics. So ultimately, that is the story of the ResTech X1, a rig that prioritizes design over literally everything. It's undeniably the best looking cockpit that I've ever had. It's a piece that doubles as modern art and impresses anybody who lays eyes on it. But once you actually start treating it like a serious bit of sim racing equipment, its cracks begin to show. At over $4,000 with accessories, you could build a rock solid aluminum profile rig with near endless adjustability, add a proper racing seat, and still have money left over for hardware upgrades, all while ending up with something that performs better out on track than this. However, the X1 instead is more about the statement that it makes than the laps that you'll run on it. So who is this for? Well, if you're a car guy who wants a centerpiece in your living space, something sleek, sculptural, and genuinely beautiful, the ResTech X1 will absolutely deliver that wow factor. But if your focus is long sessions, adjustability, comfort, and pure performance, then there are far better options out there for far less money. So in the end, and in my opinion, the ResTech X1 is the sim racing cockpit of your dreams, just not the one that you actually want in reality.